My name is Zimbakov, coming from Republic of Macedonia. It's a small country on the Balkans in Europe. Considering my business background, I've started my own company when I was 19 years old, back in 1991. And from there on, 28 years, I'm developing the business. I started it back in 1991, just having a motivation to become an entrepreneur, to develop a business idea. And after 28 years, all this story and travel has brought me here in Tanzania. Back in 1991, I was motivated and brave enough to do it. Today, my company operates in a field of wholesale, retail, distribution and production of semi-finished product for furniture industry. It has 4 segments. Today we have 62 employees working on 4 locations in Macedonia, with year turnaround of around $7 million. I'm running another business, which is a chain of retail gift shops with about 30 employees. At this moment we have 3 shops. The chain is going to grow up to 8 shops in the next 2 years. Further on, I have started a pilot project of a farm focused on production of organic milk and cheese. It's in an early phase. The interesting thing about that is that it's focused on goat and donkey milk and cheese as something which is specific and new on the market. I joined CEED 12 years ago, so it's a quite history we have. The important issue to understand, in order to grow any business, you have to grow personally as a manager. You have to improve your business skills, you have to improve your manager skills, you have to improve your soft skills like communication, delegating, coaching, and managing second manager levels. So it's a quite complicated thing. Once the business starts to grow, also the managers and strategic thinking and skills have to grow for all the managers and for all the people in the company. Otherwise, would be, I use an example usually that when you start the business, you go by foot by your own and you travel the road, and then you go on a bicycle by your own, and then you have one guy with you on the bicycle. But after some time you have to drive a bus with 50 passengers or employees inside. You have to learn how the bicycle works, how the bus works, how you can drive a bicycle, and at some point it's like you drive a plane with 200 employees inside. So you have to grow. I've started visiting trainings 20 years ago. I'm involved with CEED 12 years, and I've stayed there because there I find the community that I needed. There are 4 or 5 levels of CEED that are just compatible with what managers and owners need at certain stage of level. We get the community and the network of business friends and contacts. The very important component is space, experience sharing among the groups, So you can share your experience and challenge your idea with people who are from the business sector. Then you have the trainings for skills and tools that you need to manage people, and then you have CEED Global, where you meet your colleagues on international level from different countries, and it helps you challenge your ideas and be aware of what's going on a global level and future of the business. During this history together, we have also formed a Business Angel Investors Club in Macedonia. We are operative 5 years. So working together on this project through CEED, I've also become an investor in 4 startups and helping them and providing them grow capital to grow. So we have success stories on that side, which is very important for supporting entrepreneurship in Macedonia. So it's a quite complex package that cover practically all needs for personal growth and strategic growth of the managers and owners of the company, so they can grow together with the company and lead the way. From operative point of view, from strategic point of view, from the problems considering growing and managing the business, I can say that the problems and challenges are the same for all the entrepreneurs and business people all over the world. Maybe the size of the market is different, maybe some cultural influences are different, maybe the climate is different, but in the essence of being an entrepreneur, owner or manager and growing your own business, from business point of view, strategical point of view, we are all facing same challenges and same problems. So I would like to send a message that the challenges are the same and that there is a way to solve all these challenges through education, through getting new skills, through sharing experience with the people who has already passed these challenges, so can shorten the way to the success. What I find it probably a little bit specific and a real challenge maybe for the entrepreneurs and business people here is that there is a little bit different environment which I would like to see that is changing. Meaning that I see and we speak with organized companies that are trying to grow in a really professional manner. But I have a feeling that there is a lot of gray zone in the economy, going around the town and seeing a lot of people selling goods on the street, which is quite not compatible with each other. So I have a feeling that there is a segment of the economy which is somehow observed as an unloyal company for the companies that are in the system and trying to grow the right way through strategy, through business plan, through investment, and through building teams, human resources, and growing in that way. This is the most important issue in developing business. And speaking of challenges, this, as I can see, this is also a challenge for the entrepreneurs and businesses here. We have to understand that in the modern business, that human resources and employees are the most valuable capital of any company and any business. Today you can buy machines, you can buy computers, you can buy products, you can buy buildings, you can find everything you need and deliver it and buy it from anywhere in the world. The only thing that you really cannot buy are your human resources and people who work in the company. You can change the computer very quickly, you can change the machine, you can change the product, but you cannot change the people very quickly. So we have to understand, especially in the countries where the labor force is cheap, there are businesses that need to go in direction and use cheap labor force in their development. But most of the businesses have to understand that the competitiveness today long term cannot be sustainable relying on cheap labor force. In order to build a successful, sustainable business, in order to grow your business, you need to invest in your human resources, you need to grow them together with the business, and you need to keep them in the company once you grow them as managers and as employers, as operators on certain position, because they are the most valuable capital. The system of salaries has to be managed in a modern way. I would suggest that the companies in Tanzania implement the most advanced salary system, which includes variable terms of payment, which are measured by key performance indicator according to the effort and productivity of the employees on monthly level, stimulation like quarter bonuses, year bonuses for the mid and the high managers, so they can increase the productivity of their workers, they can increase their salaries, so they come to the win-win situation where the employees are satisfied, they are well educated, well treated by the company, and well motivated to be productive and effective. That's the win-win situation in a modern business planning human resources and developing employees. It's a very serious topic, and it was, I can say, the biggest challenge for me as a manager and a business owner and an entrepreneur. You are right that we emotionally attach to the business that we develop, and at some point we become prisoners of that business. Developing business and managing business means big dedication and a lot of effort to grow it and to survive on the market. For me, the biggest challenge was to not to create a business that will depend on anybody in the company, including me. This means that after 17, 18 years being involved and controlling and managing all the processes in the company and all the people, I find out that at some point going in that direction it becomes unhealthy for me because of the amount of the effort, but it also it's not very healthy for the business, because you make the business vulnerable, depending on just one man, even that is an owner. So in order to make the business sustainable on a long term, I decided to make a policy that the business should be organization, should be an organism that not depend on anyone else, and whatever happens, the business should continue to run and live for a benefit of all the employees. The other side of this was that at one point you see that you dedicate your whole life, you achieve something, but you don't have time to live and feel the benefits of what you have sacrificed so many years. That was a big challenge. In many ways, getting in the CEED community has helped me think in that direction and has helped me develop the skills to do that. I started developing second management level, including coaching of the employees, training them, delegating my obligations to them. It's a process that lasted 7 years. First, I planned to do it in 3 years. In total, it took me 7 years, so that the last 3 years, I am no longer employee in my company. From a manager, I have teach myself and forced myself to become an owner, but I'm no longer employed and managing the company. There is a management or an organizational structure which is running the business without any of my influence, so I can dedicate my time to other issues, take back control of my life and my free time, and dedicate to developing other businesses like I mentioned previously. It's a process, but it can be done. When I started talking about it in the company and in the business community, everybody said it's not possible, but I knew it's doable. It operates everywhere in the world. My argument was very simple. The owners of McDonald's, the owners of Coca-Cola are not sitting in every shop of Coca-Cola, in every factory or every shop at McDonald's. There are systems that operate and can manage and control the business through organization, analytics, and controlling mechanism. That's what I achieved in my company, and I consider that my biggest business professional success, apart from growing